Good evening. I'd like to call the Board of Public Works to order. This Monday, May 5th, we'll start off with roll call.
May? You said May.
August. What?
You said May.
I meant may I.
Nice recovery.
So, clerk, can you take roll call?
Alderman Marshall. Alderman Grotti. Alderman Rapella.
Here.
Alderman Nichols is absent. Alderman Eisenach.
Here.
Alderman Sevenik.
Here.
Alderman Perkins.
Here.
Alderman Lewis is absent.
Thank you for that, clerk. We got like 50 different things happening right now, so please be patient. We're having technology issues and several other things. So our first item this evening is anyone from the public that like to make comments pertaining to this particular agenda item? Sure. For the record, please state your name and address. Thank you.
Dick Sturm, 1203 Greenwood Drive, Menasha. Here both as a citizen and mainly as the chairman of the Park and Rec Board speaking on their behalf. Tonight before you is the bid tabulation and bid award for the Jefferson Park project. Been on board with this since 2014 is my first experience in planning for Jefferson Park. In 2016, concept plan was approved, and that has been in process at various stages through the Park Department, City Council, and other departments over the years. I want to make a pit stop and say that one of my missions as being chairman of, or just a participant in the park board, my reason for being there was to move Menasha Parks from being adequate to being excellent. And I think that we're on the road to do that. And there's been several ribbon cuttings in the very recent past. One of them was at Shepherd Park. And that's a fine example of a park that was in need of some attention and got it. You guys approved the budget for the new playground, the walkways, a new pavilion, and all of those things. And I was really, really proud at that ribbon cutting that that park did go from adequate to exceptional. And that brings us up to Jefferson Park, which has also had some ribbon cuttings. That we had a major donor help us with the playground equipment. And at that ribbon cutting, we all got our first glimpse of the major renovation of Jefferson Park. And again, it moved from adequate to exceptional. We've also been participants in other major donations, such as the Menasha Corp., which I was able to represent the city and the park board in accepting their large donation to renovate the pavilion, which has been well underway and nearing completion, and it too has moved from adequate to exceptional, even for a used building. We've attracted several major attractions to the park since then. The Fox Cities Experience had a great showing and a great participation by the community, well participated in. We had a fishing tournament there, I believe for the second time, and that was exceptional. So before us tonight is the bid opening, and I talked about the process, that the concept plan has been fine-tuned through various stages. It has been posted in the minutes and the agendas for Park Board, and each and every little thing was looked at and adjusted to get to this final point. And now we are at the bid approval, and I'm asking you to please do that approval tonight. And we will move Jefferson Park from the playground that is now exceptional, the pavilion, which is exceptional, the social space, which is being installed right now. As soon as, hopefully they don't get flooded out again tonight, but that's going to be another exceptional component in Jefferson Park. And as we move, it just happens to be that we're moving from kind of west to east on that, and we're about halfway through that. And the approval of tonight's bid award will see us all the way down to the boat launch area. So again, please approve the bid. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Again, state your name and address for the record.
Eli Wickman, 700 10th Street. I would also like to ask for the approval of the Jefferson Park final plan. I entered Park and Recreation Board under a misconception. I thought putting a park together was a lot like putting together a puzzle. You can just shift something here, you can put something over there, just flip-flop it, rotate it. Not exactly the case. It's a lot like building a house, where if we adjust something here, something has to be taken away. Something has to move. This plan maximizes the use of green space throughout the rest of the park. And everything has been meticulously planned for well over a year now with this. The initial plan was approved through council, and this is just the final little bit here. Moving anything at this stage would cost thousands of dollars to the taxpayers for, we have to make adjustment, goes back to designers, has to go back here. And this last part of the plan is our final chance to use the ARPA funds for this project. So I would request that the council approves this plan so we can move on and keep the ball rolling as it has been for the last year, which is really something. We're getting more and more people, and it would be terrible to go and stop. Leave a park halfway finished for, another year, maybe 2 years. So, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Again, for the record, state your name and address.
Hi there, Sandra DeVille Taylor, 545 Broad Street. I also would like to speak about the Jefferson Park improvements. I'm not here to convince you not to approve it. In fact, I'm here to approve it, but I do have questions on the actual bidding procedure. I don't know if there's a miscommunication in the specifications or just a misunderstanding by contractors, but the lump sum items are really quite out of whack, and I'm asking that the Director of Public Works or Park Department review these or comment on these if they actually contacted the bidders. For example, item 1, mobilization. Both are qualified contractors. I'm not arguing that. One bid for mobilization, $110,000. The other one, $47,000. The next item, erosion control. One bid, $8,810. The other, $49,500. Demolition, one was $58,000. The other one, $109,000. Earthwork, $98,000. The next one, $157,000. So, I mean, those are huge discrepancies, and they need to be answered. Not that it's going to change the final number, but it should be clarified as to if an addendum was missed, if there was an addendum issued, or if there was a miscommunication. Back to the plan itself. I know the park board is eager to get this started, but I do want to make you aware, I did attend a few of the park board meetings. There are some things that were not tweaked, and I wish they would have been. Primarily Cargus Drive. They're putting in curb and gutter, and it's a full curb on the south side, and I guess what you could call a flattened curb on the north side. To me, that hinders any handicap accessibility to persons who are parking on the road and want to either take a stroller or a walker or a wheelchair to the water by having that full curb there. And they did not tweak it. They did not correct it. Additionally, I was hoping for areas where you could pull in and park and actually look at the water. That's what our selling point is in Menasha, your place on the water. It's all parallel parking. except for a few areas where there is angle parking, but it faces 3rd Street. It doesn't face the water. So the whole idea of coming to look at the water and enjoy the scenery is kind of lost. We lost an opportunity, I feel. I'm comparing this to the Neenah Lighthouse, the Point. That's one of the most scenic areas in the Fox Valley, and we could have done the same, if not better. So there are some items in there. I just think, especially with the curve on Cargus, especially when we just completed a totally accessible playground, that now we have to have an obstacle for people trying to cross over. I understand it had to do with drainage and, there was a lot of, engineering behind it, but practicality, I think we're going to have problems. So there are other issues. I know, like a new pavilion is proposed. I don't think that's part of this, but still the restroom is going to be so distant from the boat launch that they're still talking about putting up porta potties. Well, we're sticking millions of dollars into a park. We can get rid of the porta potties. We should come up with a different answer. And finally, I just want to comment that this is either the 5th or 6th special meeting for the Public Works Department. Back in April, you as a council voted on the protocol. The protocol is that committee meetings follow council meetings. That ensures that staff and the council and the public have adequate time to comment and review before voting on these items. You're giving 15 minutes. So that has to stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the gallery that'd like to speak on the agenda items? Seeing not, we'll move forward to approve the Board of Public Works minutes. Is there a motion?
Yes.
Oh, got it going.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Public Works minutes of July 15th, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and then seconded by Alderman Grotti and Alderman Perkins. Sorry. Okay. Any corrections? I'm sorry, I'm having problems here with this tablet thing. There we go. Sorry about that. Seeing no corrections, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. Our next item then is to recommend to award contract number 2024-03. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the contract unit number 2024-03, Jefferson Park Improvements by Northeast Asphalt Incorporated of $1,432,229.70.
Is there a second? Second by Alderman Grotti. I usually say Ted Grotti because we had 2 Grottis before. So.
I'm still Ted Grotti.
You're still Ted?
Yeah.
The better brother? Or? Oh, okay. So there were some questions that were brought to us from the gallery. One about the bidding process itself and the discrepancies and those differences, and then also the parking. And I know there is the angle parking, but that's designed to back in, right, and then look out. So
You certainly can, still, correct. So, I mean, there are those parking nodes throughout the design
Yep.
that do allow you, if you want to back in. So there's 3 separate parking nodes along Cargus Drive in which that will allow people to, if they want to look directly at the water, they certainly can do so. There will still be parallel parking throughout
Right.
Portions of Cargus Drive as well,
And
which many people
and we
use.
didn't have that before, so actually that's an addition, and that's a nice, one of the nicer
Correct.
qualities I think we have.
And we did look at that. This is an idea that has been brought up previously. There is limited space from the existing Cargus Drive to the waterfront, and when you're also putting a trail in there as well, you really have limited space and don't want to eat up some of that green space in there to put in parking stalls, which is why it's on the south side, as well as a lot of people that would be parking there are going to be accessing south side amenities, the playground, social space, ball diamond, things like that, which is why that parking is placed on the south side. Then you're in direct adjacency to that.
Okay, and then how about the issue of, the huge differences in the bidding process here.
Correct. Deputy Director Gordon would have reviewed these bids. Sometimes it's the way different contractors categorize their expenses and the way they lump them together. So he would have brought that to my attention if he would have had concerns about that. But he had reviewed these prior to this going out.
And then were these bids under budget that we,
They're right in line with what we expected for this.
okay.
I wouldn't say under budget, but in line.
Does the committee have any questions? All right, motion's been made and seconded. We'll take a roll call. You're not working? I don't think your battery was in all the way, right?
I voted.
Now you can vote, I think.
It's 6.
No, it worked.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. We'll be moving on then for a payment. This is for contract unit 2024-06. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to accept the payment for the Cullinan and Goss LLC contract unit number 2024-06, utility and street construction at a cost of $261,645.29. This is payment number 1.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Perkins. Laura, would you like to add anything to this?
I was just going to outline the work that was done as a part of it, very briefly here. The sanitary sewer work that was on Elizabeth Street is complete. The storm sewer within the easement on Kenwood Drive is also complete. There is storm sewer that needs to be completed on Whitman Park Lane as a part of this project, and the contractor has been putting in curb and gutter on Lucerne. So the asphalt paving will follow with that, but this is the first payment, so that's basically everything that they have completed to date.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have potentially a completion, or it's so scattered it's hard to?
They're between 3 different areas, so it's really dependent upon their crews, so I
And
unfortunately,
lately weather, huh? Yeah.
that's a factor.
Okay. Anything from the committee? Seeing no one, we will take another roll call.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you for that. Moving on, we have another payment. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion for payment for the Yankee General Contractors Incorporated contract unit number 2024-08, Water Street Corridor reconstruction at a price of $377,661.10, and this is payment number 2.
Is there a second? Second by Alderman Marshall. Any discussion from the committee? Would you like to?
Just to state that this payment purely is for the shore wall that has been going in, and they're about 25% complete with that wall.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I guess we'll take a roll call on that.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right. Thank you. And now we have a street use application for Race the Lake. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the street use application for Race the Lake, Sunday, August 18th, 2024, from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and this is sponsored by the Do Try Run Foundation Incorporated.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Eisenach. Update?
So they had actually proposed to go over Taco Street, but with the closure that is currently underway, we did meet with them and discuss having it go over Racine Street, which it was last year. So really should be similar to what occurred last year, and we have had conversations with the PD on flagging for traffic over the bridge, just to make sure that there's still a traffic flow while we're keeping that safety for that lane of bicyclists that come through. But it is early in the morning typically, so hopefully there should not be any major impacts with it.
All righty. Anything from the committee? Seeing none, we will take another roll call.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. Next is the street use application for the Labor Day Parade. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the street use application for the Labor Day Parade, Monday, September 2nd, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And this is sponsored by the Fox Valley Area Labor Council.
Is there a second? Second by Alderman Perkins. This is routine every Labor Day weekend.
Similar to
Everything's
as
in
it's
order?
been the past number of years, there have been no changes that we've been made aware of.
Okay. Anything from the committee? Seeing none, we'll take another roll call.
Motion carries 6-0.
A lot of street use applications. We have another one for the Otto Grunsky.
I'll
Is
make
there
a motion. I'll make a motion for the street use application, Otto Grunsky, Saturday, September 28th, 2024, from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And this is sponsored by Menasha Park and Rec.
Is there a second? Second by Alderman Ted Grady. Questions? Megan, do you want to add anything?
No, this is our second year with this route that was started last year in the downtown area, so it will start and end near Curtis Reed Square. We'll make a few adjustments. I know we plan to close a little bit of Main Street or a lane of Main Street just to help with traffic coming back down. But otherwise, the route worked well for us last year, and were no concerns from PD.
It used to run past my house. Now it's pretty much the island this time, so that's all right. I used to enjoy watching them go by, cheer them on and stuff. So anyways, anything further from the committee? Seeing none, we'll take another roll call. Yeah.
Motion carries 6-0.
I was reminded by my colleague I can always go to Doty Island and watch it. So our last interesting, I don't recall having this many street use applications in a row, but we have another one for the Otto Grunsky Bike Ski. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for the street use application for the Otto Grunsky Bike Ski, Sunday, September 29th, 2024, from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m., sponsored by Menasha Park and Rec and also the Menasha Sesquicentennial.
There's a second by Alderman Ted Grady. This is a new event. You want to touch on it?
This is resurrecting an old event, I would say. This is in honor of the 150th, so this will be a one-time event for it. So it will be centered around Smith Park over on the island. It will strictly just close off those streets directly surrounding Smith Park. Letters have been given out to those residents already so that they have plenty of time. And we've had direct conversations with them since there will be some interruptions where there'll be completely closed streets. But there is a community criterion where it's completing as many laps as possible in 20 minutes in different heats, as well as a kids criterion, which is a quarter-mile parade-style bike parade, and then a novelty criterion, which is a 1 mile ride showing a very unique or non-traditional bike. So there'll be 3 different ways in which you can participate in this event. So registration has opened, and we have coordinated already with PD on how we'll be closing off those streets over there.
Okay, so no mistake that this is not the International Cycling Circuit.
No.
And I was involved with that for 25 years. Alderman Taylor, former Alderman Taylor, was involved with that for 30 years. So it kind of ran its course, no pun. So anyways, good luck with getting participation, because I know that some years ago, someone tried to put on a race like this, and they ended up getting 4 entries. So I don't know how that's going for you guys.
We just recently opened, so I know we haven't had a lot of entries. We do have some connections with some local bike shops and people on the committee who are avid bikers as well, who are helping to recruit.
Excellent. Okay, any further questions from the committee? Seeing none, we can take a roll call.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right, thank you for that. I'm getting comments over here. And they're funny ones. So anyways, seeing we have no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Grady.
Second.
Second by Alderman Perkins. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we are adjourned. Have a good evening.